Yung Homeschool Support Center, Grace and I, okay na kami sa homeschooling. Pero alam namin na hindi enough yun eh. Sa amin, gusto talaga namin is you teach your own son, your own child. If you have the opportunity, kung kaya nyo na i-homeschool, yun yung advocate namin. I-homeschool nyo. We don't want you to enroll to us full-time. So, sa homeschooling, we avoid competition, competing only with oneself. Enough para maging masaya when they go out. We will ensure that our children develop both the skills a sound education provides and competencies essential for individual success. So we are actually a support center. Ang tuition center is focused on the grades, right? Happy Family Homeschool of Excellence, focusing on the grades and the life skills related to that grade. Yung Homeschool Support Center, Grace and I, okay na kami sa homeschooling. Pero alam namin na hindi enough yun eh. Sa amin, gusto talaga namin is you teach your own son, your own child. If you have the opportunity, kung kaya nyo na i-homeschool, yun yung advocate namin. I-homeschool nyo. We don't want you to enroll to us full-time. So, sa homeschooling, we avoid competition, competing only with oneself. Enough para maging masaya when they go out. We will ensure that our children develop both the skills a sound education provides and competencies essential for individual success. So we are actually a support center. Ang tuition center is focused on the grades, right? Happy Family Homeschool of Excellence, focusing on the grades and the life skills related to that grade. Yung Homeschool Support Center, Grace and I, okay na kami sa homeschooling. Pero alam namin na hindi enough yun eh. Sa amin, gusto talaga namin is you teach your own son, your own child. If you have the opportunity, kung kaya nyo na i-homeschool, yun yung advocate namin. I-homeschool nyo. We don't want you to enroll to us full-time. So, sa homeschooling, we avoid competition, competing only with oneself. Enough para maging masaya when they go out. We will ensure that our children develop both the skills a sound education provides and competencies essential for individual success. So we are actually a support center. Ang tuition center is focused on the grades, right? Happy Family Homeschool of Excellence, focusing on the grades and the life skills related to that grade. Yung Homeschool Support Center, Grace and I, okay na kami sa homeschooling. Pero alam namin na hindi enough yun eh. Sa amin, gusto talaga namin is you teach your own son, your own child. If you have the opportunity, kung kaya nyo na i-homeschool, yun yung advocate namin. I-homeschool nyo. We don't want you to enroll to us full-time. So, sa homeschooling, we avoid competition, competing only with oneself. Enough para maging masaya when they go out. We will ensure that our children develop both the skills a sound education provides and competencies essential for individual success. So we are actually a support center. Ang tuition center is focused on the grades, right? Happy Family Home School of Excellence, focusing on the grades and the life skills related to that grade. Yung Homeschool Support Center, Grace and I, okay na kami sa homeschooling. Pero alam namin na hindi enough yun eh. Sa amin, gusto talaga namin is you teach your own son, your own child. If you have the opportunity, kung kaya nyo na i-homeschool, yun yung advocate namin. I-homeschool nyo. We don't want you to enroll to us full-time. So, sa homeschooling, we avoid competition, competing only with oneself. Enough para maging masaya when they go out. We will ensure that our children develop both the skills a sound education provides and competencies essential for individual success. So we are actually a support center. Ang tuition center is focused on the grades, right? Happy Family Home School of Excellence, focusing on the grades and the life skills related to that grade.
Alam nila.
Hi! Good evening! Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat, mga ginang Dina at ginang Norma. Magandang gabi! Kamusta po kayong lahat? Kamusta po sa lahat ng nanonood? Sa buong sa Philippines at sa Singapore where we are here. Good evening, everyone. And of course, those who are going to watch us later on or whatever time zone they are in, good morning and good afternoon. So sa mga hi Donna, good evening in Dubai. So feel free to share our video. I know that today, last week, pag-usapan natin yung benefits of homeschooling. Ngayon, pag-uusapan natin yung struggle. Pero syempre, laging may pros and cons, no po? Ako po si Nina. Bago ang lahat, ako nga po pala si Nina. Nina Lynn Sulit Kahananta, ang founder and managing director ng HFSC International School, the first Filipino-run international school here in Singapore. So I would like to introduce our co-host. Back to you, Ms. Dina.
Thank you very much, Miss Nina, for that wonderful
introduction. Yeah, kasi nga naman, di ba, different time zone ang mga manunood sa atin. So definitely, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And welcome back po sa ating Balikbahay Talk Series. And of course, we have our beautiful from the Philippines.
Parang Miss Universe na.
Oo.
Ayan, good evening Miss Nina, good evening Miss Dina. Para sa mga viewers, magandang gabi po sa ating lahat dito sa Philippines. Good evening sa Singapore, and good morning in other parts of the world, and good evening as well. So, I am Norma. I am here in the Philippines. So, kanina sabi ni Miss Nina, we had a jump start last week, right? So, we had Miss Joy Dyer. So, I believe marami tayong nakuhalasik about the nature of homeschooling and the joy that she had doing homeschooling with her kids. So for tonight, I believe we're gonna have a more enlightening session with our credible speaker this evening. So once again, magandang gabi sa ating lahat, at I hope dyan lang kayo sa kabila ng screen natin.
Yan, correct. So, itong speaker natin na to, I've been telling you, no, online friend ko siya for 15 years? 15 years na yata.
Wow.
So, I've been stalking her. Stalker ako po. I've been a stalker ever since I know cyber. Gusto ko lang introduce kasi how I came to know her and how I became, I will claim it that she's my friend because ang dami naming napag-uusapan online, of course, because I've never met her even when I was in the Philippines. Nagwo-work ako dun sa may Ortigas, and during nung nagwo-work ako dun sa company ko na nagda-downtime, yun yung hobby ko. Nagbo-vlog hop ako. So, vlogger siya. And that's what we do. Vlog, hindi vlogger, hindi V, pero vlogger. We love writing, we love sharing our thoughts. And that's our outlet, our thought sanctuary, yung vlog namin. And I love reading. So, siyempre ako isa sa love ko. I love reading. So, mahilig din ako makichismis sa buhay na may buhay. I mean, I like what, yeah. So, siyempre, ginamit ko. Pero kasi, you can learn a lot of things from other people's wisdom. And our guest is someone whom I looked up to in terms of idealization, si mga ganyan. Even like, ang dami. And hindi lang siya nga iisa eh. Ang dami ko na nakilala na through online, through blogging. So it was like 2005 or 2006. So nakilala ko siya. Inintroduce ko sarili ko, kapal ng mukha ko. From there, actually may common friend kami. Sana nanonood siya. Pets, nasaan ka man? Nasa YouTube. Sana manood ka. Ay, sasend ko sa'yo later yung link para manood ka. So, we have a common friend na mas nakilala ko pa at na-meet ko, and he's one of my pillar when I was starting in my own company in NASC, si Pets. So, ayun. So, without further ado, let's bring her in.
Ayan, parang gusto ko rin siya friend.
Yeah, friend na natin siya, lahat.
Hello, Miss Laya.
Grabe naman, Nina.
Welcome.
Sobra naman yung intro mo. Hi, everybody. Hi, Dina. Hi, Norma.
Hi, Miss Laya.
Hi.
Ayan.
Sabi ko, hindi ako sanay sa ganito. Background lang ako. Lagi.
Oo. So, pareho kami ni Laya na ako accountant ako. So siya is creative like editing, no, sis? And graphic.
Graphic, writing.
So, siguro,
behind the scenes always.
maybe you can give us a little bit of background of what you were before homeschooling. Tapos, how are you now that you are the domestic goddess?
Gusto ko yun.
Oo. Diba?
Domestic girl. Well, I was a writer before, graphic artist. Ayan, tapos
editor, video editor. So, ayan, palagi nga ako nasa background. So, hindi ako sanay na humaharap lagi. And kung siguro, pang VO lang minsan, gano'n. Pag kailangan, wala nang choice. Yun. Tapos, ayan, so, nung naging nanay ako, I focused on our kids. So slowly, ayan, naging stay at home, work at home, stay at home, ayan. Tapos we decided on homeschooling na talaga. Pero pinag-isipan talaga namin. It was a really intentional research na malupit, yung interview na maraming tao. So, oo kasi 'di ba, it's a life choice yan eh. It involves the entire family and yung future syempre ng anak natin. So, talagang kailangan pag-aralan ng mabuti and it aligned naman talaga with yung values and beliefs naman namin. So, sige, let's go. Hanggang tuloy-tuloy na natin to. Gano'n na, ayan.
Oo nga.
So, ayan, 4 na yung kids namin.
4 dapat. 4 dapat, di ba?
4 lang. Hindi ganyan.
4 lang. Ayan, 4 dapat. Ayan, so actually, so before anything, bago tayo mag-dive deeper on the struggles na share mo, we wanted to watch your sharing, the first 15 minutes of your sharing. And then we will discuss and dig deeper ano yung pagkukuhanan kasi ang dami actually before yung edit nito at syempre para mag-prepare tayo dito. Ang dami kong tanong and sa akin sabi ko nga habang nag-uusap tayo, ang daming 1 taon lang ako nag-homeschool pero I'm so glad I did because what you will be sharing to all of us and all to our viewers is something that nakaka-open, di ba? Nakaka-open ng sarili. So, I can't wait. So, let's watch your video. So everybody there, feel free to share this live video and I bet you kahit kumakain kayo diyan, kung nag-aalmusal man kayo diyan, you will definitely
Grabe naman.
Syempre sobrang na pero I this is something na I will stand for, di ba? So, let's watch your video.
Yay, salamat.
Hi, ako si Laya. I have 4 kids that I'm homeschooling right now. Isang magta-13 years old, 10-year-old, 8-year-old, and a soon-to-be 6-year-old. I'm here to talk about my experiences through the years. We've been homeschooling for 6 years already. 3 years with a provider, and these last 3 years, nag-independent unschoolers na kami. So, parang off-road. Scarier. But, okay naman. Buhay pa kami. Okay, so, challenges. The first challenge that we encountered was yung figuring out pa lang if we were actually going to homeschool. Challenge siya because it's more in your head. Ang una mong aayusin talaga yung sarili mo, yung mindset mo. Why are you homeschooling? Coming from a traditional mindset, syempre na galing tayo sa traditional system ng education where there's a classroom, a teacher, you're the student. Homeschooling, for many of us, is very new and strange, and syempre, it's kind of overwhelming and scary. That's one of the challenges that I personally encountered. Yung thought that you are going to be in a role as a teacher and then your child is a student. Syempre, nandun yung ikaw parent ka and ito anak mo, and then there's another role na teacher, student. So, medyo parang nakakagulo ng isip. And yung thought na you're going to bring a school setting or a classroom into your home, ganun ba talaga yung homeschooling? So, itong challenge na to involved a lot of research, reading, talking to people na nag-homeschool na or who have experience in alternative ways of learning para ma-meet yung challenge na yun, para to get over that block in my head. Hindi kami agad-agad nag-decide na homeschooling tayo, ganyan. Hindi. It involved quite a few years, mga 2 years siguro or so, na nag-start ng mag-aral si Una, our eldest. We were still trying to find out what kind of educational system or way of learning would be best for her and for her future. Ultimately, it boiled down to figuring out yung values and what we wanted to focus on in raising our children from the get-go. Kasi alam namin, we knew that any form of educational choice would be lifelong. And it would also be a lifestyle because it revolves around your child. How they will learn, how they will adapt, how they would essentially go out into the world and be the best person that they could be for themselves. It's not really about you. Kasi sila na to eh. They're your child, but they are their own person. So given that you have a mindset that you grew up with, yun yung unang magsasabi sa iyo kung okay ka lang ba or hindi. Yung self-confidence in making a decision and sticking to it, especially something that's not really the norm in a lot of places, in a lot of cultures or society, na hindi ito yung ginagawa lagi or normally nakikita, syempre, because left and right there are different kinds of schools, even from Montessori, progressive, ganyan, traditional, Catholic, secular, non-secular, mga ganyan. So all these things, and then there's homeschool. This mindset that you have coming from this particular form of system of education, tapos mag-iiba ka, una mong parang makakabangga yung sarili mong nakasanayan, what you're used to. It's a challenge for me. Then, even if I already came from a progressive background, and when I was younger, I worked with alternative learning systems na mga programs, ganyan. Even if it wasn't new to me, still, I am a product of a traditional form, a traditional system. It was also enough for me to question myself. Can I do this? My self-confidence was going up and down. I can do this? No, I can't. Am I good enough? Can I do it? Am I qualified? Am I supposed to, do I need to be a teacher, or do I have to have some educational subjects or credits man lang in college? How long will I be able to sustain this realistically? It all boils down then to why in the first place are we doing this? All of that will go into your head, went into my head. And syempre, my husband was also exploring with his own questions. So together, we did a lot of reading, soul searching, and yun nga, we came to the realization that we want things for our children that were different from what we saw, what that traditional education could provide. We wanted something else. We wanted to focus on how they would how we felt they would be able to bloom as a person away from the traditional system. And we saw that being around us, being around our family, yung values namin and what we hold dear would for as long as we can would be the best for them, for their future. Kasi later on, they will explore, they will leave the home, they would meet other people, but we wanted them to be firm and strong in their foundations that came from our family before they go out there. Because yun naman yung point eh. They will be independent and they will be leaving home soon enough. Too soon, but they will do it. But we just want them to be equipped in the way that we feel would be the best for them. I realized then naman that it's different for everybody. For us, that was our reason, that was our why we decided on homeschooling, and with a focus on life skills, life practical skills, over academic. Hindi naman dinidiscount ang academic. That's also another challenge, balancing it out. Yung practical skills, life skills, academic, tapos yung mga interest-led things that they like to do, that they want to do. That's another part of the challenge when you're planning. But later on, I'll talk about that also, kasi hanggang ngayon na-challenge pa rin ako with that. It never stops. It never stops, because all the kids, all 4 of them are different, and they're all changing, as we all are naman talaga, because they're growing, and you cannot stop that. It's part of living, and it's part of growing talaga, that they will change day to day, minsan moment to moment, pati rin man ikaw. So how different would they be, since sila nga, they're just figuring out, and you're supposed to be guiding them, and you're supposed to know better because we're older, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're wiser. Pero tayo, kailangan natin mag-double time. Isa pang challenge yan. All these things, actually, this homeschooling journey, our homeschooling journey talaga, I realized na you learn a lot more about yourself. You never thought you would learn na meron ka pa palang reserves of something, of mga hugot na hindi mo pala na hash out nung mas bata ka, or hindi ka pa parent, or hindi ka pa homeschooling parent, pero dahil meron silang yung mga anak mo, you are always present with them and for them. With every moment that they have, realizations that they have, questions that they have, minsan mapapaisip ka din eh, Mom, why am I doing this? Why do I suddenly feel ganito, ganyan? Minsan may existential life question. Right now, wala akong maisip. Marami eh. Pero mapapaisip ka rin that you would apply to yourself. Na, especially about when they're processing something that upsets them, disturbs them, or makes them really think na, why is this happening to me? Why am I upset about this when it's such a small thing? And then mapapaisip ka, teka, ako din na-upset ako sa ganyan eh. Bakit nga ba? 'Di ba? So, ikaw, dahil gusto mo siyang matulungan na i-process, because you are working with your child on a parang naka-step back ka, instead of you are in the situation. Mapapaisip ka rin na this is applicable to me also, na oo nga, why can I not work this out when I am in this situation, and why am I asking my child to work through it like this? So one of their challenges is, kung applicable sa kanya, dapat applicable din sa'yo. Not only to be fair, but also because it's the better thing to do. If you expect your child to be a better person, why can you not ask yourself to be that? Ako, challenge ko yan then, because you will lose a lot of patience. Just because you are a parent, or just because you're a mom, just because you're a homeschooling mom, doesn't mean na because you opted or you made this choice that you are suddenly a saint. Santo ka na. Hindi. Hindi talaga. Nawawalan ako ng pasensya. I lose my temper. I really fly off the handle. And I yell, yes, and more than that. And yes, the mom guilt is real. It's also a challenge na trying to forgive yourself when that happens and processing it properly with your child. You cannot just dismiss it na hindi nangyari yan, or okay, wag na natin pag-usapan. It happened. You do have to talk about it. And yes, even if you're the adult, you have to apologize because mali din yung naging reaction mo. And pride is another challenge because syempre mahirap aminin pag nagkamali ka. 'Di ba? And then most of us are raised in a culture that says na when you're older, you shouldn't apologize to somebody who's younger, or the younger person, sila yung mag-apologize pa sa'yo. Yung ganong traditional mindset. Again, it's traditional. It's cultural. It happens. And while it is not okay, it's up to us to process it. Yung mas aware na generation, I mean, since mas self-aware na tayo ngayon, we should also take up that challenge to find out what was it in our own childhood, in our own learning experience that did not help or helped, and apply it this time, diba? Because kami din, we did not want our own children to possibly go through the stuff that we went through, that we felt were hard in a negative, bad, debilitating way. I mean, we've all had experiences that we didn't feel were conducive to learning or fostering a love of learning, or finding solutions where there were problems, or getting out or going out of the box, or finding ways and means to be able to creatively solve something positively. We've had too many horror stories, not just us, but all around, na minsan fatigue talaga para sa isip, sa puso, katawan ng bata, that we felt were not necessary naman. So anyway, medyo lumawak-lawak na ako. Yun, yung mga challenges coming from yourself. Yun yung mga unang magiging challenge before you even consider going through with it. And even while you're going through with it, going through the decision kasi na mag-homeschool ka, that you are going to be there for your kid. Yes, it's the exhaustion is also a challenge. Pero kasama yun eh. You're a parent. 'Di ba? And yung self-confidence na, can you do it? Yes. Are you qualified? Oo naman. You are the parent. Even without a degree, you are teaching your child every second of the day, whether you know it or not. Naturuan mo nga maglakad eh. 'Di ba? You were able to teach your child to communicate. Yung kayong dalawa lang. That's the most important part. And also the realization that you are good enough. You are enough. It sounds so simple, pero it's a big deal pag pinaniwalaan mo talaga. Because yung strength ng conviction mo, that you can do this, that why you are doing, you can do this for the reasons you have, kayong mag-asawa, kayong family, that your kid, you are the only people that matter in this decision. These will carry you throughout the hard times. Because yeah, there will be hard times. may times na talagang pagod ka na, pagod na siya, pagod na kayong lahat, ayaw niya na, why are you doing this? Ano bang point? Pwede namang iba na lang, pwede namang another time na lang, yung ganon. Minsan may isip mo talaga na you're doing this for the reasons, the walking, talking reasons. Ayan, yung anak mo. And syempre, yung other concerns niyo pa as a family, as a mom, or as a dad. And it will sustain you. It will sustain you. It's not always going to be pretty, but it's not always going to be that hard. Just think of it talaga as this is building you up, building your kid up, building your relationship up, building your family up. Kahit na sobrang sama ng araw, ang importante din is communication. You communicate to each other. You communicate your apology. You process it together. Hindi nyo pwedeng hindi na lang basta pag-usapan. Kasi it's necessary. Okay? You cannot expect perfection from yourself or from your kid, because there is a reality then na perfection for everybody is different, including your child. And it's unfair kasi it sets you up for disappointment. That's also another challenge that I had to learn, yung setting myself up for disappointment. Kasi I was expecting a lot of things from myself, and therefore even if I would say na I'm being very open with my child, and I'm being very I'm not going to expect something that's going to hurt them, na I am expecting perfection for you, anything less is not good, it's not right. Sabi ko, hindi ko gagawin yun. And I did not do it. But the thing was, I did it pala in other ways. Na magsho-show ako ng displeasure or I'm upset na, hindi mo natapos yan. Yung mga ganon. Okay? And sometimes it's subconscious, it's subconsciously there, and unconsciously you do it. So you learn to be more watchful of yourself, your actions, your words, yung mga subliminals. Okay, sometimes you find yourself echoing yung mga horror teachers mo. Oh my God, diba? You're becoming your worst nightmare, your worst teacher, your terror teacher.
Nagulat na naman.
Oh my God,
Ayun,
ang haba.
terror. Natapos tayo sa terror teacher, pero I mean, yung remaining nun, mapapanood natin yan. I-upload po natin yung remaining sa YouTube page ng YouTube channel, Facebook page, YouTube channel ng HFSE. So, Miss Dina,
Ang dami
Miss
kasi
Norma.
challenge eh.
Ayan. Actually,
Oo.
nakinig akong mabuti kay Miss Laya. Kasi last week, I had also a great heart dahil doon sa narinig ko from Miss Joy. Ngayon, nagkaroon naman ako ng parang hope, di ba? Kasi kay Miss Laya, very experiential yung nakita ko, yung narinig ko, I experience na talaga. And Miss Laya, I commend you for getting all those, not ideas basically experiences galing sa puso. And I can feel na yung mga challenges na yon, you were able to surpass, and paano kaya ako? Yun ang iniisip ko. So, dun sa...
Hindi, Miss Norma. Hanggang ngayon, tinatry ko pa rin. Okay?
Yan, narinig
Nakakapit
ko
pa
sa
rin
iyo
ako.
yan. Yan, narinig ko sa iyo yan. Sabi mo kanina, hanggang ngayon, yung temper and control. Kasi I jot it down. So, sabi ko, my God, wala ako sa homeschooling. Pero hanggang ngayon, yung temper and control, pinag-aaralan ko pa rin. So, kung si Miss Laya may 4 na estudyante sa bahay, ako may 4 dito na nag-aaral naman sa iba, but not homeschooling. So, I'm just comparing myself, Miss Dinah, Miss Nina, sa experience niya. So, I guess talagang iba kapag homeschooling talaga. Kasi a parent must have the heart para i-continue niya yung purpose. Parang nakita ko sa iyo, Miss Laya, dahil galing siya sa puso. Nasa iyo yon na, ano bang sinulat ko dito? Yung point na you feel like giving up. 'Di ba? Lahat ng mommies and daddies out there, we do share the same sentiments. Sometimes we feel like giving up, pero I got a strength from you that we don't have to give up, that we have to process ourselves, not only our kids, but apparently giving up must be a no-no for us because we are the one taking care of our kids. Yun yung nakita ko tonight eh. Ikaw, Miss Dines, ano ba yung ano?
Well, I was listening to Miss Laya. I was really touched because I said, Miss Laya sharing actually comes from the heart as a mother. And
Yeah.
ang takeaway ko, Miss Laya, is that your struggles are real. It's not only applicable to homeschooling, it's applicable to parenting in general. And I could definitely
Yes,
relate.
totoo.
And
Yes.
when you were saying about yung being perfectionist, yeah, ako po, nako, medyo ako doon. And
Mini-major ba? Mini-major ba ang perfect?
well, I've learned na po, Miss Norma. Then Miss Laya is also about this. I've noted it down. I like when you explain about the why that it took you 2 years before you finally decided to do homeschooling. I commend
Yes.
you and your spouse, yeah, because I think hindi lang po yung parang by impulse that you decide, ay sige mag-homeschooling na lang nga tayo. No, it's not like that. So I really appreciate po yung efforts ninyong mag-asawa because you focused on the why and you are you're so focused that whatever struggle that you have experienced, you were able to surpass everything. So yun po ang aking yes, takeaway. Miss
Thank
Nina,
you.
yes, your floor, Miss Nina.
Yan. So, ako, syempre, sabi ko nga kanina, nung pinapanood ko siya, it's the struggle of not just a homeschooling mom, pero every mom and every parent. Kaya siguro maganda basahin natin yung mga comments ng ating mga viewers. O, diba? Social tayong mga viewers. So, let's greet on. Magandang gabi muna po kay Miss Miss Myrtle. Yan, magandang gabi po Miss Mommy Myrtle Flores, and then si Miss T ng aming very beautiful principal, ang aming Miss Tin. Good evening, Miss Tin. Good evening sa ating daw mga gandang babae. Siyempre, si Miss, ang atin din pong very supportive parents from Happy Family, si Mami Isa, ang aking very loyal friend. Loyal. Ayan, si Miss Donna from Dubai.
Syempre.
Siya galing niya sa Dubai. So, good evening ba or good afternoon sa Dubai? Hindi ko alam no? So, yan. So, ayan din, si Rachel, good evening po. She's a Vietnamese and then she's watching our discussion. So, knowledge bank na siya. So, good evening, Rach. Ayan. So, syempre, good evening din sa ating ever supportive na Habibi. Ayan, so...
Gwapong-gwapo. Hi, Sir Gary!
Hi, Sir Gary.
Yeah, good evening, Sir Gary. Sir Gary, no? Ayan. So, si Miss Aden, good evening. Tapos, ayan po. So, ito po, may sharing si Miss Donna. True, everything is a challenge in parenting. So, everything. Everything is a learning moment. Sabi po ni Miss Rhea,
Yes.
pa-shout daw kami ni Daddy Carding. Daddy Carding! Ayan po ang nag-iisa kong daddy. So, sa mga nanonood sa akin ay mga hugot ko pala, no? Ayan. So, ayan po. Thank you for sharing kay si Mami good evening din po, Mami Belen. So, yan po. Thank you for watching and hopefully, alam ko na marami po kayong na natutunan. Ako din talaga ang dami pa. Yung after nito, marami pa discuss din si Sis Laya about the frustrations. Ayan, sinabi ni Miss Myrtle. Miss Norma, pwede basahin natin
Ayan.
ang comment.
Sabi ni Miss Flores, homeschooling sounds like a lot of effort. Tama po yan. What kept you pressing on for the last 6 years? What's the best thing your kids as a family gained because of homeschooling so far? So, question yan galing kay Miss Myrtle Flores for Miss Laya.
For Miss Laya.
Hi, Miss Michelle. Tama ba, Michelle?
Michelle.
Yes, it's a lot of effort. It's true, it's a lot of effort. Pero it's also okay to take breaks. Pag talagang nawiwindang ka na, and if you're really feeling the pressure, the stress, you're losing it, naloloka ka na, it's okay to calm down, quiet place ka muna. It's okay to take a break. It's okay not to be okay sometimes. Yes. Tapos, what kept us pressing on our kids. Yan. And pag nakikita namin that they are being their own person, na walang halong ibang ugali na hindi namin alam kung saan nanggaling, or ibang mga influences that we have no idea nag-take root na pala. And yung damage control, yung crisis management coming from things na wala kaming idea. Meron pala silang napagpulutan. That's one of the considerations talaga that we are thankful for, na we served as gateway for yung mga outside influences na hindi mo alam. Nag-take root na pala sa heart at saka sa mind ng bata. Tapos, teka lang, paano natin i-process yan? Because you need to be fair also dun sa pinanggalingan. Diba? So, kasi you're trying to open their mind na there are different people with different experiences and syempre different perspectives. So, yung naging pinaka-best na takeaway namin from homeschool talaga is seeing them bloom as their own person. Yung parang hindi na nasusurprise ka, ganon. Na, oh my gosh, naisip mo yan? Or, wow, ang galing naman, dahil kahit ako hindi ko naisip yan ever, yung lumabas sa isip mo ng mga ideas, mga deep thoughts, tapos yung emotional attachment at saka yung communication nila with you, iba talaga. Yung closeness that being around each other, communicating with each other on a level na hindi lang superficial, yun ang pinaka-best. Kasi alam namin that kahit na usually yung mga things that we were not able to talk about with our own parents when we were growing up, sila, iba yung relationship nila with you. They're parang more open, komportable sila na kahit nasabihin natin for us, nung generation natin medyo private yung mga ibang thoughts and feelings kasi baka mamaya merong fear of judgment, fear of ridicule, ganyan. Dahil, syempre, iba yung naunang generation, di ba? Sila iba yung pagiging komportable nila with us. na sa kanila wala lang. I am just sharing my thoughts and my feelings, and I'm opening my heart out to you. So for us, we didn't want to chance out losing that in a traditional setting. Kasi syempre iba yung mapupulot nila sa iba na dapat hindi mo to sabihin sa parents mo or something like that, yung mga ganong di ba? Pero sila, iba. Oo, mas open sila sa amin, especially may mga nagdadalaga na dyan, ganyan. So may mga questions na kami ng husband ka okay, that's okay, sige, let's talk about this. Yes, we are open. So our biggest, one of our biggest things take away from homeschool is the relationship and the character building talaga. Yun.
Yeah.
Sana nasagot
Miss
ko,
Laya?
nasatisfy ko ang question niya. Yes.
Ayan, same question. Bali yung itatanong ni Miss Crisabel, same lang din sa itatanong ko supposedly. Sabi ni Miss Crisabel, Miss Laya, ano po yung mga strategies nyo para ma-motivate po ang mga kids? So ako din po kasi yan yung question ko kasi kailangan ba all the time mabait tayo or kailangan ba all the time yung patience mo like ubus ka na pero alam mo yun kailangan ba nagpe-pretend tayo na okay lang sa harapan nila? What are the things that you do to motivate them?
Well, totoo that yes, you have to be patient, and yes, kailangan medyo okay ka, serene. Pero okay lang din to show them. Okay lang din to show them na kasi tao ka eh. Oo, tao ka lang. Na, anak, nauupos din ako. Tao, nagdadarag, gano'n. So, kailangan alam nila yan because you have to model it to them. Na, hey, it's okay na you get upset. It's okay if you get discouraged or angry or sad about things. Negative emotions also are okay. Kailangan niya tao ka, may negative, may positive. Pero ang importante is how you respond versus how you react. Challenge ko pa rin yan, okay? Hindi ko pa rin yan perfect. Pero, what's important is you show them that you are trying and you communicate that na, anak, upos na ako. Hindi ko na carry. We have to work together. Kasi you're also modeling yung accountability sa kanila eh. Na, look, kasi kami, we also tell them na ito we are studying, you are studying. There are things that you want to do. We involve them kasi also in the decision na, anak, kailangan mo mag-aral. Bakit? Kasi, di ba meron kang gustong mangyari sa life mo? Meron kang gustong mangyari. You want to be something. Gusto mong mag-own ng business. Gusto mong maging ganito, maging doktor. Gusto mong maging owner ng business. Gusto mong magtayo ng school. Gusto mong something. You want to be a writer, an artist, or dancer, musician, kahit ano pa yan. Whatever you want to do, you also have to work for it. So, ito yung way. Ngayon, you decide also with us na ito yung gagawin mo. So, meron kang call to responsibility and teaching them accountability. O, pag hindi mo ginawa yan, paano ngayon yan? Diba? So, that's one way to motivate them. Also, we actually write it down. At the start of every ini-interview, nag-i-interview, kasi mag-iiba yan eh. Their interest and their motivations will change all the time. Ito yung long term. There's long term and short term. Parang tayo lang yan, di ba? So yung long term is, ito yung gusto mong mangyari sa future mo, this is how we do it. This is how we can help you as your parents to go towards that dream you want for this month or this year or this week. Parang gano'n. It will change talaga. Yung short-term motivation naman, nag-iiba-iba din. Dati, yung medyo mas bata-bata pa sila, stickers! Yay! May bago kong pencil! Pero it's something tangible that they can use, practical para sa kanila. Yun yung definitely focus on, hindi yung kunyari, bibili ka namin ng Nintendo, something, or computer, ganyan. Medyo luho-luho na yung mga ganon. Siyempre, you have to keep it practical, usable, realistic, because it's also teaching them to have realistic goals na short-term and long-term ganyan. Yung tangible. Tapos, syempre, hindi wasteful or maluho lang. Kasi, syempre, hindi naman tayo gawa sa pera. Diba?
Yes.
So, it's keeping, helping them keep yung being in the family, kasama ka sa pamilya. So, you are also part of taking care of this family. So, that is stickers. Ngayon naman, gadget time. Tapos, okay, you are free to watch this or spend time with the gadget for the amount of time that you spend with your academics, ganyan.
Miss
So,
Laya,
that's how we keep them motivated. At syempre, motivation yung hindi ka magagalit sa kanila.
Sige na nga, noted na. Noted na. Miss Dinah.
note to myself also, I like that, Miss Laya, when you said na pag hindi ka nagagalit sa kanila, mamomotivate sila. Note to myself. Miss Laya, I have a follow-up question. Kasi po, maganda yung question ni Miss Norma sa ni Miss Crisabel. You also mentioned earlier about life skills, no? Ano po ba, meron po bang formula in terms of yung parang proportion ng academics, focus on academic structure, and also yung on the life skills? Kasi parang, I'm just wondering, kanina rin nabanggit nyo na isang struggle yung parent ako, pero I will also, act as a teacher. So, how do you now set that formula for your children? Especially na 4 sila, tas iba-iba pa yung age. Yun lang po, curious lang po ako, how do you do it? Is there a perfect formula?
I know there's no perfect formula. Grabe. I'm also, syempre, it changes eh. Talagang ang only constant lang is that everything changes. Especially since magkakaiba sila ng ages. And magkakaiba sila ng interests and strengths and limits and boundaries also. So, personalan talaga. So, ang ano dyan is, ang dami-dami kong naging plans for schedules and everything. As in talagang, wow, talagang I really had to write it down. Pero as soon as I got what I think was a good formula na median nung 4, wala. Biglang, okay, it works for like 3 seconds or 3 days and then wala na naman. Pero the thing that we kind of parang medyo nag-balance out, medyo umokay, medyo mas general siya eh. So everybody has chores. Diba? Kasi bahay mo rin naman to, pamilya mo to, kakain ka din, magdadamit ka din, so the laundry, kasama yan. Tapos, lahat tayo may kakayahan. We can all do something. There are age-appropriate chores, there are age-appropriate responsibilities and duties. And hindi lang ba sa age? Kasi minsan kahit mas bata pa, carry na niyang gawin yung isang bagay, why not, di ba? Kasi, nandiyan na yung motivation niya, nandiyan na yung kagustuhan niya to do something, to help. So, why not let them help? Kahit na it will only take you 5 minutes, tapos siya 5 hours, sige na nga, okay, sige, go, character building to. So, yun yung ginagawa na lang namin. So, on a more general, is that in the morning, or whenever, kunyari, kami kasi more of afternoon people kami. afternoon to early evening people. There are some people who are morning people, di ba? So, yung naturalesa ng tao, dun mo din sila kukunin eh. Kasi mas madaling matuto ang tao, mas madaling matuto ang bata when you get them dun sa interest nila, dun sa natural, sabihin natin natural inclinations nila. Diba? Like my daughter, she's very much involved with things. She loves helping, she loves doing things that yung ibang mga kapatid niya hindi parang hindi feel ganon. So I give her those things that she can do. Like she likes doing the plants. Okay, sige, ikaw ang magdilig dyan. Forever magdilig ka. Ikaw ang assign dyan. Yay! Ganon. So,
Nice.
yung mga chores na carry naman nila, go. Tapos, yung youngest ko naman, siya na yung in charge with the plates, ganyan, magsiset na siya ng lamesa, ganon. And involved din sila in the decision. Ito gagawin mo, okay, sige, I will just remind you of the time. Pero syempre, pahirapan pa yan, mga 4 na beses na tatawagin bago gawin. Minsan ganon. Kasi sa reality. So, in the mornings, ang ano ko na lang sa kanila is, okay, sige, academics, you do it in the morning or in the first half of the afternoon. Per day, there's a subject. Kasi English, Filipino, Math, Science, ganyan. So, English Monday, Filipino Friday, mga ganon. Whichever it is that you and your child are comfortable with. And then after that, sabi ko, after ng classes ninyo, after ng chores ninyo, that's when you can give yourself the time to do what you want. Do what you need first, then do what you want. Kasi wala kayong maririnig sa akin. Hindi ko kayo madi-disturb sa mga gusto nyong gawin sa life nyo. Diba? Gusto nyo magbasa, mag-drawing, manood, ng whatever, okay lang. Kasi ayoko rin naman kayong harangan sa gusto nyong gawin because I know you're learning something. Pero, and enjoying yourself, entertaining yourself. Pero, gawin nyo muna yung kailangan nyong gawin. Yun naman yun. So, those are the practical, the life skills. Kasi tayo ganun din, we need to do the things we need to do, yung mga responsibilidad natin, before we can actively really enjoy ourselves. Kasi ayaw naman natin nai-istorbo sa gusto natin gawin. Mga Korean telenovelas natin, ayaw natin nai-istorbo.
True yan. Ma-agree daw talaga ako doon, Miss Laya. Daw talaga ako yes, pero
Narinig ko ang Laya, ano ba favorite mo? Panimulin yan. Mahabang usapan na yan.
Miss Laya, meron akong question.
Yun, yung balance it out.
Yeah.
Yes po.
Thank you, Miss Laya. I think yung sagot is balance, no? Balance is power talaga. Thank you, Miss Laya, for that.
Ayan, Miss Laya, meron akong question. Kasi syempre, di ba, bago kayo nag-come up into homeschooling, nag-compromise ba kayo ng husband mo? Like, have you had a compromise or a serious talk about it before you started your kids in homeschooling? Or it just came up after 2 years na parang honey or love, tara mag-homeschool na tayo, something like that. Ano ba siya? Pinagtumanan niyo ba talaga? I don't know the word it is, pero alam niyo, pinagtumanan niyo ba talaga ng ilang buwan ba or kung ano man?
Miss Norma, actually, before kami nag-homeschool with a provider, parang before that, in-enroll pa namin si Una sa isang brick and mortar school. Okay? Na progressive. So, medyo close to a home setting. Okay? So, hindi masyadong nalalayo dun sa gusto namin na maging environment niya for learning. Na may life skills, tapos merong konting academic na parang introduction to academics, ganyan. Pero, yun nga, dahil nga, yung 2 years na yun, that was spent in discussion, yung gentle debate, ganon. Yung research, And then, interview sa mga tao, yon ganon. Tapos, syempre, medyo either challenge ka talaga para parang, ito yung question, defend your position. Wait, sandali, bakit parang delete to? Parang gano'n. Pero, nothing naman na naging away or anything. It's really just ironing out yung, ito ba talaga yung gusto nating mangyari from all angles. Kasi kahit naman na ma-feel mo na it's upsetting to you, syempre, bakit ka na-upset dun sa question? So, ibig sabihin merong something there na kailangan mong i-work out, kailangan nyo i-work. So, it really merits attention. So, it was really through a lot of, alam mo, even kahit nag-homeschool din kami, yung, even with the provider, we were also really just still ongoing yung talk na okay pa ba ito? Is this still working? Kasi syempre, nag-change yung needs ng bata eh. Oo. So, it's still an ongoing discussion and it's still working for us. So, we're quite happy pa naman.
Yay!
Buhay pa kami, buhay pa yung mga bata.
Yes.
Okay pa
Nice
sila.
And it's sabi nga ng aming one of our teacher in Singaporean teacher in HFSC, it's always a happy story, di ba? It will always and what I can parang makabuuan ng homeschooling, every family has its own story. Like how I homeschool my son is totally different from Laya. Kasi si Miss Laya, Sis Laya is, ako wala akong choice kasi, ito na lang, parang ganito. Kasi I don't have a school. I don't intend to homeschool at all. Kasi, there's a school na, and then I'm working abroad. I need to work for us to stay here. And here, someone who really took 2 years to discuss, evaluate, mag-research, and still, it all boils down to ang ganda ng foundation. Sabi nga sa akin kanina, na backstage tayo. Yung conversation namin yung Miss Laya is like, home is the foundation. So, nauuna talaga ang bahay, ang tahanan. So, kung ano yung naturo natin sa mga bata, not just, dun sa primary academics, pero yung talagang, yun yung pinaka sobrang I admire for homeschooling mom, is we were able to teach the values that we really want our kids to have. So, pag confident tayo na pag nilabas natin sila sa mundo, we know that they can stand on their own. No? So, thank you. And it's not just for homeschooling, ma'am, yung shinare mo, Miss Laya, yung lahat ng struggles mo and how we discover ourselves, yung in-share mo sa susunod na videos na dapat panoorin ng ating mga viewers sa video ng i-upload natin sa Facebook. There's a self-discovery to what you really are, not as a homeschooling mom, but as a person, 'di ba? Ang daming magagandang pick-up points na dapat nating panoorin, Miss Norma and Miss Dinah. So, thank you, Miss Laya, for your time. Sobrang, this is a night of full of wisdom. So,
Oo, matutulog na naman tayo ng marami tayong natutuhan ngayong araw na to.
Correct.
Yes,
correct.
I agree, Miss Norma, Miss Nina.
Yan. So, yun po. So, kung last week, we wrap it up straight away. Ngayon, meron po kaming ipapakita na doon sa mga nagtatanong, sa mga gusto na malaman kung, Miss Nina, kasi marami po nagtanong sa amin na, do you provide homeschooling? Ganyan. Kasi we started from homeschooling too. And we actually have homeschoolers na humingi sa amin kasi financially wise, they are not capable, but they want to be together in Singapore. So, doon kami nag-start din na, mag-provide tayo na ito yung mga kailangan nyo, kayo bahala. So, let's watch first kung saan nga kami nag-start. At saka na-feature kasi kami, yes, diba? Artista ulit ako para sa mga manonood. Artista po ako dati. So, na-feature po kami. Thank you to Mr. Clement Mecenas for connecting us and for believing in me. Actually, isa siya sa mga mentor na who were there when I was just starting Happy Family Homeschool. And actually, NASC Global pa eh. So, sobrang he uplifts my moral and my parang courage to stand up and continue this journey. It's not an easy being an entrepreneur. Actually, sabi nga nila, it's impossible. Similar to being a parent, ganyan. But it's a calling. 'Di ba? Ang entrepreneurship is a calling. Similar sa ating mga nanay and sa ating mga magulang. We were given the privilege natin na magkaroon ng anak. So we have to embrace that privilege na. So yun po. Thank you, Miss Laya.
Miss Laya, maraming salamat.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat, Miss Laya,
Thank
for
you,
sharing a
Miss
part
Laya,
of
Miss
you.
Norma.
Thank you po.
Bago tayo magpaalam, we
Thank
just
you, Miss
have to
Nina.
have
Thank you, guys.
So, salamat ng marami. So, marami pa tayong chikahan offline. Pero, we will have, we will watch the TV Patrol and I will discuss a short overview of HFSE ang pinakihintay ng karamihan na gusto nilang malaman. So, let's watch the video.
Counting 1, 2, 3.
Masigla ang Happy Family School of Excellence dito sa Upper Thomson, Singapore dahil sa mga batang Pinoy. Nagsimula ang eskwelahan bilang homeschool noong 2015 na binuo ng accountant na si Ninalyn matapos bigong maipasok sa local school ang anak niyang si Gabriel. Sa Singapore kasi, limitado ang slot sa public school para sa mga dayuhan dahil priority ang permanent residents. Di naman kayang tustusan na maraming OFW ang international schools na hanggang 2,000 Singaporean dollars o 75,000 pesos ang tuition kada buwan. Nagsimula si Ninalyn na sina Gabriel at kaibigan si Keisha lang ang estudyante.
Nag-create kasi ako ng happy parenting group para at least like to support group po ba na sa mga Filipino parent. Sinabi ko sa kanila yung, ganito, we can do this.
Ngayon hanggang grade 3 na ang itinuturo sa eskwelahan. May higit 70 estudyante, 6 na guro na ang 2 ay Singaporean at kumpleto ang pasilidad. Bukod sa science, math at English, nagtuturo rin sila ng Filipino para di malimutan ng mga bata ang sariling wika. Ang tuition, 500 Singaporean dollars kada buwan lang.
Education is very important, especially at this age, because it's the foundation years. So if any break there will definitely affect them in the future years.
How important is this school to you?
Like 100%.
Nag-apply na si Ninalyn sa Ministry of Education ng Singapore para makapagturo hanggang grade 6. Pinapaalalay naman ng Philippine Embassy ang eskwelahan sa Commission on Overseas Filipinos.
Kailangan punuan ho dahil siyempre may minimum requirements din ng mga eskwelahan dito. Sa mga buildings, may safety requirements. Dapat makipag-ugnayan ulit sila sa amin, mapag-usapan kung paano.
Yung goal kasi ng Happy Family is for them to be together regardless of the problems, the challenges.
Nag-iikot na rin ang Department of Education sa iba't ibang bansa para matulungan ng Filipino schools pero batid ng DepEd na mas matindi ang problema ng mga isinamang anak ng undocumented OFWs na hindi makapag-aral dahil walang dokumento.
There are more and more of these young people who go abroad and come back radicalized with totally different perspectives about our system.
Kasama rin sa mga inaayos ng DepEd ang pagbubukas ng alternative learning system sa mga migranteng Pinoy na di nakapag-aral o undergraduate. Sherian Torres, ABS-CBN News, Singapore.
Ayan. Ayan.
Para nagulat ako sa sarili ko.
Ako din. Ayan. So, syempre, mahaba na po yung hair ko. So, ako po yun. Maiksi lang buho ko. I joined what you call, dito sa Singapore, it's a children's the Children's Cancer Foundation Society, CCF.
Mm.
So there is one where they called it an annual event and Hair for Hope. And
Mm.
before that interview, I did my first ever and first and last pa dahil. So wala pa, hindi pa nasusundan. Siguro, hopefully, pag nag-lift ang pandemic. And it's about encouragement and donating money for those children who has cancer. So Children's Cancer Foundation. And it's really liberating, ano yan, sobrang nakaka-uplift pagpakalbo. So yun po. So after that, so Miss Dinah, Miss Norma, i-discuss ko lang sa ating viewers, ano nga ba yung B-School? Sila, siguro ano ano sila nagtatanong, ano nga na naman tong B-School, 'di ba? Parang matagal na nilang hinihintay ito. So, hindi natin patatagalin. So, let's show this. Okay. Ayan na po. So, naririnig ba ako? Yan, naririnig niyo ako. So, VSchool, ang VSchool, our tagline is because virtual learning is cool. So, you can come join and VSchool. Ang virtual school po ay and the online affiliate of HFSC International School, and paulit-ulit ko pong sasabihin na first Filipino run Filipino run international school here in Singapore. Singapore, the edu hub ng Asia. So, ito po. Yan. Why VSchool? VSchool is the online learning portal and affiliate of HFSC International School, the first Filipino-run international in Singapore. VSchool was born because of the successful home-based learning program implemented by Happy Family School of Excellence, HFSE, during Singapore's 2-month circuit breaker. With the overwhelming recognition from our community, we have decided to extend the platform not only to the Singapore community but to the global community as well. So, i-open na po namin ang what we have successfully done during the circuit breaker in the Philippines. It's the quarantine period or lockdown. So, yan, social down sa Singapore, kaya tinawag na circuit breaker. So, ang mission at vision ng VSchool is the same as HFSE. It's to create global citizen making HFSEan difference. Ang ibig sabihin ng HFSEan po is ito yung resiliency at discipline ng isang individual na natutunan namin sa community at sa bansa na kung saan kami nagsimula. So, that is the Filipinos in Singapore. So, yeah, kilala tayo mga Pilipino na resilient. And of course, Singapore is known for being disciplined. Having a disciplined community. So, syempre, ang vision ng VSchool is to become the first choice of global migrating families. Kasi, inisimulan po namin ito sa OFW families. Now, it's really our mission is to really be the international school for all, not just for Filipinos. Actually, in sa HFSE we have other nationalities. We have Bangladesh, we have Vietnamese, and that's something that is really nakaka-proud kasi ayun po na it is from the Filipino community in Singapore. We're reaching out not just to Filipino but to other ASEAN countries, and we have other mixed families from Germany, Australia, UK, US. So it's really an international community wherein we have the same goal, no, to turuan ng ating mga bata na what we have extracted from homeschooling is to compete with oneself lang. Ito po yung goal ng HFSE. Sabi nga ni Sis Laya, is to let our children bloom in their own as a person. So yan din po yung goal ng HFSE. Coming from a homeschooling values towards building this HFSEan citizens. Yan, global citizen po tawagin. So yan. Siyempre, ang ating virtues is trust, respect, and commitment. Yan po yung nagsimula sa HFSE. We started with the faith. So, tinawag po tayo, ang HFSE is more of a mission. At yan, ito pong DICE, currently na niro-roll namin ang mga values na gusto naming maituro sa mga bata, hindi lang actually sa mga bata, pero sa every member of our community. We call our community, this as a community, not just a school, but a group of happy families. Yan. Discipline, integrity, consistency, and excellence. And when we say excellence, it's personal excellence. Ayan. So, sumunod po. Ayan na po. Ay, nag-pop up sila, Miss Norma. Siyempre, may program po kami, HFSE Homeschool Program and V-School. So, HFSE Homeschool Program is for family who decided to get fully involved and in charge of their child's learning journey. Katulad ni Sis Laya, HFSE team will be giving necessary guidance and support for the child's academic learning needs. We have created a robust syllabus based from our hybrid curriculum from one of the most remarkable education system around the globe, the Singapore education system, and something that we really are trying to emulate in our school because we feel that combining the Filipino curriculum and the Singapore curriculum, we can really create this kind of citizen who will not just make a positive difference, but talagang magko-contribute to add on something something to the world. Yan, aiming to help you and your family achieve your child's full potential. So, yan, ang homeschool program. And then yung V-School program it's an enhanced program for homeschoolers who would like to engage educators who are expert in the field of English at Singapore mathematics. Take note po, Singapore Math yan. At ang sinasabi nilang very nice at very proud from Singapore. And science. So EMS, this program is a combination of homeschooling and regular school where the rest of the subjects, the parents or the guides will be in charge. Our VSP, Virtual School, V-School program, educational rockstar would definitely be a hit with your child as we make learning a fun thing. So talagang sa HFSE po, tinatry po namin na maging masaya. Ayan, masaya ang pag-aaral. Hindi po siya force. It's really, sabi nga ni Sis Laya about it, it's like we want the kids to be in charge of what they really learn, what they really want to learn. So, yun po. So, with the success of our home-based learning program in Singapore, we are sharing this experience to the whole world. We believe that virtual learning is cool. That's why we offer V-School. Yan. So, may gusto ba kayo malaman? O meron pa? Meron pa actually. Pero nagpakita lang po ako para makita niyo ulit. Siyempre nakakaabang natin ang lahat, ang V's. Ito, i-discuss ko na para makita nilang lahat. Ang V's
Ayan, kasi abang na talaga ako sa lahat.
Ang V's Academy. So, ito yung full spectrum ng home-based learning ng HFSEs during the COVID. So, yung offer namin is what we want the kids to experience, especially during this period na nasa bahay ang karamihan, not just in the Philippines, not just in Singapore. Actually, sa amin go on-site na kami, pero most of the families all over the world. Ayan po yung nakalagay dyan. It has online class for the full week. Your child will be able to mingle with all other classmates, not just in Philippines, pero sa Singapore, even for other countries. So we are opening this to the global community. At andito rin po yung mga program na nilaan namin, and we will be offering to our students, to our prospective students. At pinakamasaya po dyan, syempre yung scholarship eligibility na i-highlight ko bukod sa lahat. At saka yung syempre yung you can have the experience to graduate, primary school graduation here in Singapore. Yan. So yan po yung isa. And it's an experience that we want. So, may gusto pa po ba kayong malaman? Meron pa, 'di ba? Siyempre, pinaka looking forward is this. What is the investment cost? This is an overview. So if you wanted to join, and for those who are watching and for those who has watched and will be watching this video or this live stream, if you want to join our open house, we will be sending and we will be putting in on that open house date, and you can register on the link that we will be providing on the comment section. So, nag-iintay na silang lahat at sasabihin na natin ang investment cost. So, for homeschool program, it's about 40,000 for the whole year, and it's that this for the Viz School is 60 and the Viz Academy is 90. So for this particular in launch and until August 10, we are giving away half of discount for that. For annual school fees, for homeschool, it will be just 20,000 pesos. For Viz School, it will be just 30,000 pesos. And for Viz Academy, it will be just 60,000 pesos. It is totally budget friendly kung saan man kayo. So we put in the Singapore counterpart and then the USD if you're from somewhere else around the globe. So yeah. And if you really want it, then our class will start on the 14th of September. That's actually somebody's birthday. Hindi ko sasabihin ko sino. But yeah, so 14th of September. So if you feel that the HFS and you wanted to know more about HFSE, just register. This is our open house dates. And every Tuesdays, kung mayroon tayong BalikBahay talk on Thursdays or Tuesdays, we can discuss about V-School. Ito po yung mga dates. And every Saturdays, 3 to 5 p.m. So, yan. Mas mahaba yung chikahan pag Sabado. So, yan po. So, mag-register na po kayo sa link, and for any questions that you may have, we can discuss that during the open house. Yun lang po. At ayoko nang patagalin. Maraming salamat. Ibalik na po natin si Miss Laya sa ating at tayo ay magpaalam na sa ating mga welcome back sa inyong lahat. So, Miss Norma, anything last word to say before we close the night?
Ayan, before we end up this night, very not just informative but a very reflective night with Miss Laya, I would like to share lang kung ano yung nakuha ko sa kanya, no? Nakakuha ko ng isang quote about dun sa experiences ni Miss Laya. Ang sabi dito, there is no school equal to a decent home and no teacher equal to a virtuous parent, according to Gandhi. So, dahil very, very heartwarming yung impact sa akin ng experiences ni Miss Laya, yun yung naging thought ko para sa gabing to. And before I pass the web to Miss Dinah, I'd like to thank you, Miss Laya, for sharing your struggles, the challenges that you have experienced. Those challenges, I believe, will be our stepping stones. So I believe you imparted something that are very important for us to know, to adjust with, and especially to reflect on too. So that is very important, not just for homeschooling, but as a mom na rin sa kabuuan. Yun lang, Miss Laya, maraming salamat. Miss Dinah.
Miss Laya, thank you so much po for joining us and for sharing your journey as a homeschooling mom. For me, my takeaway for tonight is that I will remind myself that I'm the gardener of my children. So I need to make them bloom to the best person they can be. In terms of homeschooling, Miss Laya, titingnan ko kasi I think my patience level is still like this. Yeah, but definitely, I really honor you. I really honor you, Miss Laya, for teaching us, and for inspiring us. Thank you so much. And again, God bless in your journey. And we wish to see your children to bloom. Yeah. So hopefully po, we can meet them one of these days.
Yeah. Sila naman yung
And
magiging guest natin. Sila yung other counterpart ng product ni Miss
yes.
Laya. So, thank you again, Miss Laya. If there's anything that you would like to share for us as a parting message to all of those people who are viewing right now and will be viewing this video, feel free to share po. Ano po yun? At na kami nagkikinig.
Okay. I'm still working towards being virtuous. Malayo pa. Pero maraming salamat din for having me. And I just want to say na it's okay to be, the important thing here is you're on a journey together. You and your family, you and your child. So, ups and downs, magkasama kayo dyan. You just need to be aware that you can communicate with each other on a level na hindi anak ka lang, pero mo ko. Hindi. You can communicate, and that is where it all starts. That's where it all will continue from. Hanggang pagtanda nila. They will come back home. They will know that they can always come back home to you to tell you even the most difficult things. Okay? And it's always a lifelong learning thing. Lifelong ang love of learning. Moment to moment, every moment. Talaga. And it's okay not to be okay also. Yun lang.
Ayan. Yay! Ang dami actually. Ang dami nating i-digest na for tonight. And siguro marami akong i-journal for what we have received from you. So thank you for sharing your experience and whatever it is learning that you have gone through. Tama, lifelong learning. At habang nabubuhay tayo, natututo tayo for what is life. And sabi nga ni, yun nga, sinashare ko sa kanya, Untethered Soul, experience is the best teacher, sabi nila, diba? And this is if we're experiencing life. So, ito yung pinaka magandang teacher, our life. So, salamat again, Miss Laya. Salamat sa inyong lahat na nanood sa amin and nag-stay sa amin to discuss about this struggle. So, ang aking paulit-ulit at sasabihin sa inyo, syempre, ang magandang kinabukasan ng kabataan ay laging nagsisimula sa tahanan. Kaya, balik!
Bye!
Yay!
Miss Tina, i-plug na rin natin. I-plug na rin natin for next week. So on August 13, we're gonna have Happy Homeschool. Why choose homeschooling with HFSE? So yun yung title. Miss Dinah, sinong ating bisita sa isang linggo?
Our speaker for next week will be Miss Pam Cruz Lian.
Ayan. So see you next week po with Miss Pam.
See you po.
Thank you, Miss Laya.
See you around, Miss Laya. Keep safe po.
Okay. Sige. Thank you, Dad.